Hello, this is Danny Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. This is a little delayed, but is my Ship of the Day coverage of days 3 and 4 of the IAE Expo. And the ship of the day for this video is the new Starlancer MAX that was announced about a month ago at CitizenCon. And to my pleasure, it is up front here, sandwiched between two Starfarers. And one of the things I wanted to see was how they looked side by side. And overall, if you were to leave all that refueling, storage, and apparatus off the back, the Starfarer would seem to be about the same size as the Starlancer MAX. In other words, the ship part of the ships is about the same. And if you were to go by the ship matrix, you might think that the Starfarer had the jump on the Starlancer, since it shows the Starfarer as having 291 SCU of cargo capacity, and the Starlancer at 224. And that is a statement that is both accurate and quite misleading. So, the accurate part of it is that if you are auto-loading from the commodity kiosk, those are in fact the capacities that you will be able to get auto-loaded. But then you start to see the differences. For the Starfarer, you get that 291 SCU loaded. You would need to buy 4 24s, 4 8s, 14 4s, 22s, and 5 1 SCU containers. So as you can guess, that is an awkward fit, which is not surprising since the Starfarer was designed when there was nothing but 1 SCU boxes, and also nobody thought, much less cared, what a larger box sizes might exist years from then. The Starlancer MAX, on the other hand, the auto load would be 6 32s and 8 4s. That's all. So obviously much simpler to load and unload. Not only that, but the Starfarer, if manually loading, you are threading the cargo underneath the fuel pods and then up a long ramp between 2 rows of fuel pods. So, the Starfarer is by far the more difficult and time-consuming craft to load and unload manually. That in itself would be good reason to give extra consideration to the Starlancer MAX, but there is something more. The Starlancer MAX's cargo capacity is vastly understated, and I'm not talking about taking tons of time to meticulously cram 1 SCU boxes into every possible nook. I'm talking with just a handful of extra big crates and still having full access to every area of the ship and still having a full aisle through the cargo to the rear ramp, with just 2 more 32s and 4 4s. Manually added to the rear, your capacity on the Starlancer is 304, surpassing the Starfarer in both capacity and speed of loading. And if you did want to get packing with some extra 2s, you can get up to 320 and still have that aisle in the middle. Sacrifice the aisle and you can get to 336, including space in the back to store an Atlas cargo loading exosuit to make all that cargo loading easy. So, how did we get here? Well, I think that this is the problem. I think that CIG originally intended to make the rear cargo bay 192 SCU with 2 grids, 4 wide and 8 deep by 3 tall, with the aisle down the middle. But the doorway on the Starlancer, while tall enough to accommodate rovers like the Ursa, isn't quite tall enough to slide the 3rd layer of cargo boxes straight out. You have to slide them to the side, then down, and then out. Now, there are multiple ways that they could have addressed this, but they decided to make the entire center section of the rear cargo bay ungridded. That way, we could come up with our own solutions to the puzzle, since any arrangement that we could put in ourselves, we would there be able to unload just by reversing the steps. It also gives us more flexibility in combining vehicles with cargo in the center part of the rear bay, which is not bad. But it does mean that to get the full use of cargo capacity of the Starlancer MAX, you have to do, at a minimum, at least a little manual loading. The way this would work in practice with doing most of the loading automatically and the rest manually would be go to the admin office, buy all the 32s that will let you fit in the Starlancer selected as the auto load destination, which would be 6. Then buy all the 4s that the system would let you, the Starlancer selected as the auto location, and that would be 8. Then switch to the station as the landing zone and the manual loading destination. Then buy 2 more 32s, 4 more 8s, and if you really want to pack it in and not have an aisle left, 15 2s. Honestly, though, I would tend to leave off the 2s because once you get to that point, the loading and unloading gets too slow and cumbersome to be adding much to your profit per hour. Then go to the hangar, bring up the other cargo, and get loading. And then at the destination, reverse the whole thing. But bottom line, the Starlancer MAX is a great contender in the light heavyweight cargo area, which was kind of a gap between the middleweight freighters like the Freelancer MAX, Mercury, and Taurus, and the heavyweights such as the Hercules and Caterpillar. And another thing to note is that the Starlancer TAC shares the same rear cargo area as the rest of the Starlancer line. So the 96 SCU listed for the TAC is also likely greatly understating what can actually be fit in the rear. Although considering the TAC's role, that center area is more likely to be used for ground assault vehicles or additional stub fighters. And now for an update on our giveaways. We have the Captain's giveaway for Ver VKB Space Combat Edition joysticks, still progressing along. Plus, we have the regular Grow the Channel ship giveaway for the Zippy Zezzy Zaftig Zephyr, the Zeus 2 cargo, and I just checked, and we are at 14,990. Yes, just 10 subscribers away from the 15,000 goal to give that Zeus away. And then beyond that, the 20,000 subscriber goal for the winner's choice of the Marvelous Multi-Role Mining Meta, the Arasta, or the Banu Big Box Bargain Bazaar, the Merchantman. One entry per video, members are entered automatically. Everyone else just subscribe and comment, somehow including the secret word. And the secret word for this video is what type of loading you will need to do at least a little of to get over 224 SCU in the Starlancer MAX. Fly safe, keep it real, I'll see you in the verse. This is Danny Raymond for Ray's Guide.